Hello everyone, this is episode 3 of my Feed the Beast Let's Play. And today I'm just going to start out with a little bit more with computers. We're going to do a few other things though, but I want to start out with computers again. Anyway, you can see we have a lot more chickens down here than we did before. They're actually kind of a bad idea to put them here. I think I might move them later. So now I made this advanced computer, and last time, if you remember, we created this custom startup script that displays custom text that you want at this computer startup. So if I type shut down, for example, it automatically will display that when it turns back on instead of just the CraftOS 1.5. So this time we're going to actually download a custom OS by someone else, and I'm going to use pastebin to get it again. If you don't know what pastebin is, basically it's a website in which you paste various files and stuff to it, and then it saves them. So basically that WMFH is the ID it's saving it as, and we're going to name it installer. So now it connected to pastebin.com and it downloaded the appropriate file, and it downloaded as installer. So if I hit installer, or I type it, and I run it, you see it's actually loading this. And see, I think that's Liquid, I'm pretty sure, since it's just with a Y instead of an I. And so it's asking us a few questions. I'll say yes, because I do want to run it on startup. And for reboot now, I want to reboot the computer now, so it goes into the OS. And so now, you see it's very simple. Just kind of the ASCII characters it's using. And so we're going to run a program. So the real cool feature about this is it adds Windows to your computer, so that you can navigate things. So if we do test1.txt, you can see I'll launch this and it creates a new window. Now this window can be moved anywhere. It can be resized, as you can see. We can right click the name to close it, minimize, all that stuff. Right click again, cancel would make it go away. So we used to just have to use the control and then exit, but now since we have Windows we can simply minimize it or close it. So I'm going to save it first, and we'll say this is a test file. And for some reason it doesn't seem to actually expand much beyond its boundaries. I'm not sure exactly what happens with that. So first we gotta hit the control still to save. And we're gonna save it. It'll say saved as test1.txt. And we can right click this and we'll hit close. So now, you might be wondering, how do we access the regular prompt to just type in any command we want? Because right now we can only run a program. So we run the shell program, and we can drag that out. Now this can also do multitasking, so don't worry. Like I can launch edit test1.txt, and I can literally have these programs running at the same time. Can move them around, they're on top of each other, overlapping, etc. You see our file we saved before. And I'll just minimize this for now. And then I can open it like the taskbar you would have on your Windows computer. So anyway, now you can see we're in the shell, so I can use the commands I know of, like directory, and it gives test1.txt is listed there. And I'm just going to close this because there's not much use for it now. Whoops, I don't mean maximize. Close. And that's basically the LyqydOS in a nutshell. It's pretty cool because it lets you have the fact of Windows, but at the same time, you don't even need an advanced computer to do this. You can do it with a standard computer, although the advanced computer you get the colors, of course, without a... I don't know, does that close it? Yeah, it does. So it's an easy key for it, just like if you were to have a Windows computer. So having an advanced computer helps you get the colors, but you don't need an advanced computer to run the OS. I actually never made an advanced computer. If you see, I think we can just go to computer, but I'm not sure I never showed the standard computer, but here's the standard computer in there. That's what it looks like if you're curious. But the advanced computer is the one that displays colors. So I've got a few things that we can do a day, and I'll be back. Okay, so before we move on, I just want to show off one more tool I found. It's called the mouse file browser. I'm just going to paste in this thing from their link to Pastebin. And you can see we're going to download it as browser. Also, I looked over the last clip and I realized I had the mouse cursor hidden. So, you should now be able to see my cursor. I'm kind of sorry that that didn't work out. In the future, I'll try and keep the mouse cursor visible. Anyway, this is not exactly meant to run on inside of LyqydOS. They weren't like designed by the same person. So you can see there's kind of this weird border and glitch around here, but it's still pretty cool. You can see we have our test1.txt file, and in order to do something with it, you can right click. So I could rename it, I could open it with something. We'll just delete it because it was a test. And you can see we even have browser inside of here. And this is a folder, LyqydOS. So this is like where all the files are for it. Oh, that's a file you can run. I thought it might have been a folder. So we'll close that. Anyway, it's just a cool tool. The links to all the tools, or not the tools, to the OS and this tool will be in the description. And it'll bring you to computercraft.info's website where there will be a forum topic about it. So if you'd like to download that, you can. So we're going to move on now to some of the other stuff I planned for this episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little small segment with Computer Craft, and we'll be moving on now. Okay, so my plan for this episode is to switch from the generator to a solar panel. And I actually want to have 2 solar panels because this way we don't use coal anymore. So first I'm going to grab this generator, and we are going to make another one. So first I need some cobblestone. And we need to make a furnace first, and then we need to make a machine block. So I'll just make that with my refined iron. I also do need some more iron, so I'll start that cooking real quick. Or I need refined iron, so I'll start that cooking. Because we're going to have to make electronic chips. So if I can find... Okay, here's some iron. I'll cook it. And here is my copper ingots from before. That should make some refined iron. And now that we have the machine block, we also need to make a rechargeable battery, which is tin, tin, tin. So 4 tin, 2 redstone, 1 insulated copper cable. And now we have a rechargeable battery. So we can put the rechargeable battery, that, and the machine block as a generator. So now we have 2 generators. The next step is we need to make some electronic chips, which I'm pretty sure is this, and I know that somewhere inside we need refined iron. I just can't remember where. I think we actually don't need that much of it. So I'll just take that out, though I guess it can't hurt to have extra. So, it's redstone, I think it's that, but it might be reversed, it might be 2. Okay, no, I was right, that makes it, and, see, I'm not very good at memorizing recipes. Anyway, we need 1 more, so I put a lot more iron in there than I needed to. Oh, but we need 4, since we need 2 for each. So we don't have the materials. Wait, we do. I'm not sure. We don't have the materials to make 2 solar panels, actually. We only have the materials to make 1. So I'm going to need to cook up some more rubber and make copper. Okay, so now we've got our 1 solar panel. I'll make the second later, because I'm just going to demonstrate what I wanted to work on real quick. So now you can see, because it's dark, it's not collecting any. So I'll go sleep real quick. Okay. And so we can use, what we need to make next is a bat box. And I don't need all this refined iron. Stop it. Let me grab some spare copper ore so that I can put that in the furnace and just use the last bit. Not the copper ore, the copper. There. Yeah. Well, by now it's probably nearly gone anyway. Let me grab that. So, next we're going to make a bat box, which just requires a lot of batteries, basically. Oh, wait, that's way too much tin. And there, and 3 of that. Plus we need 3 for each. And I can't remember exactly where these went for the rechargeable batteries to make a bat box. I'm just trying to do this by memory. Don't have a very good memory with recipes, though. Other than, like, the simple Minecraft recipes. But that's probably because I've made them so many times. So I think this was it. No, it's something different. I think you might have needed a 4th battery in there. Okay, so I have to pause real quick to look that up. I'll be back. Okay, so I figured out the recipe for the bat box. I simply had to replace the top middle piece of plank I had with a copper cable instead. So we're going to place our bat box here. So the port is coming out this way. And I hold shift when I place this, then place that down there, and we'll place this here. And then we can run this to our macerator. I got a macerator from, I had to destroy the one there, and then they gave me a machine block back, so I had to make a new macerator. And now the idea is, since this is getting solar energy, this should be filling up this meter. And right now, though, it's going back down every time because the macerator is now sucking power from it. But, as you can see now, the macerator is filled up, it's filling. So it'll fill all the way at 40,000, which is the highest it can hold, as you can see. And after that, it'll stop, but that should be way more than enough. Which the issue with the generator was it could only hold a small amount. Also, I killed all the chickens down there, and with the eggs they had, I spawned a bunch of new ones here. That way they're not on the way of the machinery anymore. And here's what the solar panels look like from the surface, as you can tell. And I've got one more thing that I want to build, and then I'm going to have to call this episode an end for today. So, yeah, I will be back. Okay, so I'm back, and we are going to create a recycler. So the first step we have to do to create a recycler is we have to create a compressor. And so I'm taking the machine block I got from the macerator earlier, and I need the stone. And that's actually wrong, I think. It needs to be here. And so now we have a compressor, which is one of the components in the recycler. So I need to go up real quick and get some glowstone dust, which I'm pretty sure is in my random chest. Yeah, I've got plenty of it. And we're going to go back down here, and okay, crafting table. So it was this, 3 dirt, 2 refined iron, and the compressor. And that creates a recycler. I'm going to put my recycler over here, and I have an extra rechargeable battery here that we'll use to power the recycler. And basically, if you don't know what a recycler does, it recycles blocks you don't need, like for example this extra cobblestone. And it's just pulling out of the battery. And what it'll do is it has a 12.5% chance that it can make scrap when it does so. And scrap has a few different uses. You can use it in a generator, and it generates a very little electricity, 870 EU, as opposed to this, which generates 4,000 EU. And you can also use it somehow with a mass fabricator. And if you get 8 scrap, you can use it to make a scrap box, which gives you a random item. So anyway, I figured it would be good, since I'll be getting a lot of spare cobblestone and just junk I don't have anything to do with, especially seeds. Seeds, I always have an incredible amount of seeds and never have anything I can do with them. There are a few things that you can't use that you can use in a recycler, but it won't create anything. It won't make any scrap. I can't remember what they are, but I don't think any of them are seeds. There were only like 4 things. I think dirt was one of them. I think wood was one of them, but I can't remember the rest. Anyway, thanks for watching. Richard out.